What's going on, everyone? My name is THC Samuel. Welcome to my new YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've been very active for the last about 5 years or a little bit more on Instagram and in the Colorado art and MMJ and hip hop and music communities, and basically wanted to create a channel to talk about art and music and culture and just things that inspire me and things that I love. And please don't forget, hit that subscribe button right down here. It's right down here. You'll see it right down there. And let's get going. This first episode, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite pieces. It's actually going to be a set, the Keith Haring Medicom rBricks set number 4. So with that being said, let's get the show started. So just to get things started, wanted to give a little introduction or education about rBricks. People may or may not be aware of what they are. I became aware of them about 10 or 11 years ago, but at the time, I was in high school and going through college, and never really had the opportunity or the means, honestly, to invest in rBricks or really collect them in a way that I really wanted to. Basically, they are collectible bears that are created by a company called Medicom Toy, and they're super, super cool. They've basically become a canvas for different artists and different brands to collaborate together and to put their artwork and to put their logos and to just kind of put their brains, so to speak, together on a piece that ends up turning into a really awesome piece of artwork. I've been collecting art basically my entire life, and rBricks have always just really stood out to me as kind of interesting pieces to have in the house and sitting on shelves. And anytime I've been to someone's house with a rBrick, or anytime I've seen another YouTube video where someone had a rBrick in the background, I just always thought they were so cool. And until recently, I really, never could really grab some of my own. But a couple years ago, I bought a property and was finally able to kind of settle down without moving from apartment to apartment, and decided to get a couple rBricks. So here is the introduction to the Haring number 4. So I'll go basically rBrick by rBrick and go through the sizing and talk a little bit about Keith Haring, and we'll go from there. So before I get into kind of showing some close-ups and just some more detail of each rBrick, I have all three. I have the 100%, the 400%, and the big guy, the 1000%, is chilling right over here, so you guys will get to see that as well. Wanted to just talk about Keith Haring a little bit. He's one of my favorite artists. Him and I were actually born in the same hometown of Reading, Pennsylvania, which is pretty neat, just a little fun fact. Keith was born in the 1950s. His work really began to get really popular and explode in the 1980s after he moved to New York, and he used to do work with various contemporary artists and pop artists that were popular in New York in the 80s at the time, and you'd see his work just if you were paying attention around New York City. And really kind of helped start the street art, or at least was one of the artists that kind of helped start the street art movement and kind of the culture behind street art, which I just think is super cool and something I've been super passionate about. So that was a little bit about Keith. Now I really want to show you guys kind of about the rBricks and about kind of what they look like and what they're like as collectibles, art, toys, kind of they fall under a variety of categories. The smaller versions, the 100%, which is this little guy up here, I'll do a little zoom in on that, you'll see a close-up. And then the 400% right here come as a set, and they all come in really epic boxes that can almost be pieces of art themselves. Let me zoom in on that to see if the camera will catch that. The boxes that come with each of the pieces are really incredible, and that's actually one of my favorite parts about it, at least specifically the number 4 rBrick. I think the boxes are all just super, super sick. And then when you open up the box, you get rBrick, like I said, with the 400% and the 100%, and I'll get a little zoom in, and they're super, super fun. You can basically put them anywhere that they fit in your house, and they're just a great example of Keith Haring's artwork and the rBrick shape. They're made via/with permission with the Keith Haring Foundation and Medicom Toy, and they're just really amazing pieces. I keep mine kind of on shelves all together, and just really makes for a really nice display. This is the 400%. It's probably, I could look it up, but it's probably about a foot or so high, maybe a little bit smaller. And then the 100% is really tiny. This is just a little guy, and we'll do a close-up, like I said, of each one, so you can get a little closer view of what they look like. Next, I'm going to show you the big guy, the 1000%. The 1000% is super, super cool, so I can't wait to show you guys that. So I just wanted to give a little close-up. This is the 1000% box, actually just a very small section of it. I wanted to give just a little preview of kind of what the box looks like, and the box in itself is really a piece all on its own. Let me get it lifted up for you guys so you can see some more of the box. So the box is super, super cool and just features some of Keith's classic artwork. So like right off the bat, like right when you see it, you really can't beat the box. So super hyped. This is the 1000%. As you guys can see, it's ginormous. It's literally 1,000 times bigger than this little guy right here, the 100%. And really, I love rBricks because they're a fun shape, a fun sculpture, a fun toy that can really take various forms and can really be looked at in a lot of different ways. So with the Haring collab, you really get to see like a lot of his classic style pattern artwork just all over the rBricks, and it just makes them kind of almost two layered pieces, because you get them, yes, they're like this giant sculpture, this big giant toy, but then you also get the layers of looking at all of the artwork that covers the whole body, and then you add the box to it, and then you add the 400% and the 100%, and really the whole collection of the trio is just really a lot of fun to have, and I love owning them. I love having them in my house. They're a lot of fun. Guests, when they come over, they comment on them, and they're really just fun pieces to have. So now I'll talk a little bit about kind of rBrick pricing. They really vary tremendously. You can look on StockX, you can look on eBay and kind of various websites and find different pieces. Just really be careful when you buy, make sure that it's an authentic piece. But otherwise, when the rBrick first dropped, this is number 4 of the Medicom rBrick collaboration collection. So they've done previous ones. I think they've done 6. I could be wrong on that number, but I think they've done 6. If you know the answer to that 100%, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to also join the conversation and continue my own education about art and about the community. But basically, this piece, these rBricks, were released in September of 2019. And originally, for the big guy, it was just under $500. It was $480 for the 1000%. And then obviously, because of resale and just what happens to the market, they jump in price like that. So now, if you really go to look online, if you look at StockX and you try to find one of the big guys, it'll range for about $1,400. So it's not insane, but it's also obviously not the most affordable thing. But if you're passionate about art, if you love art, it's definitely something that's attainable and something you can save up for and definitely, get for your house or your apartment over time. So the 400% and the 100%, as mentioned before, they come as a set and a pair. And they're much more affordable to collect than the big guys. So if you're just starting your collection and just kind of getting interested in the rBricks and kind of just wanting to learn about it a little more without spending too much money, the smaller versions are so much fun and a great way to get into it. I think they're under $500 and you get the pair. So basically, now I'll go in and kind of just do some close-ups of all 3 and kind of give you guys a really nice viewing of what the 100% looks like, the 400%, and then the big guy, the 1000%. And actually, really quick, before I go into kind of some close-ups of each of the pieces, I wanted to talk about one more thing that makes rBricks super cool, because this whole time I've kind of been having them stationary and a little bit boring. Each one is actually fully functional in the ability to kind of just move the ligaments and move it around and change the way it sits, change the way it looks. So if you have certain space requirements, you can kind of, hold on, let me see if I can get it to work. You can kind of get them to do a little dance. Basically whatever fits your house. It's really fun. You can make them sit down if you need to, but you can adjust as needed. You can make them hold fun objects. They're really a lot of fun to have. And again, they're some of the my most favorite pieces of art in my collection. This little guy is the 100%. He's super tiny. I haven't measured it exactly, but let's call him like under 3 inches. And it's super cool. You can kind of bend limbs like I mentioned in that previous clip. And also all the way around, you see the Keith Haring Foundation logo right there on the back. Super, super cool. Let me bend this leg over so you can kind of take a little seating position. And yeah, just a super, super cool piece. A little great piece to have on your desk. And just a great little display piece. I love the 100s. They're super fun. This is the 400%. and it's such a cool piece. I just love Keith Haring's work. It's so much fun to see it in this kind of capacity and kind of with this medium, with the rBrick. Really, I absolutely love it. So that is what the 400% kind of just looks like standing on his own. Do a little 360. Look at all that epic Keith Haring work. And then again with the logo on the back, the Keith Haring Foundation logo. His work is just so cool. And then in comparison, you bring the little 100, and that's the first set. So you can buy that kind of as a pair together to kind of get your collection started. They're super, super cool. So this is the big guy, the 1000%, starting at the feet. This thing is so cool. Like, it's really one of the my most favorite pieces in my house. And you bring it up, and beast mode. Just look at that. So much sick Keith Haring work. Just everywhere. It's really one of the coolest rBricks out there, in my opinion. I'd love to hear your opinion. So hit the comments. What's your favorite rBrick? But I absolutely love this one. So I'd love to hear what your favorite one is. We'll be featuring a few on the show. So that was a little close-up of each of the three Keith Haring Medicom Toy rBrick number 4 collaboration pieces. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, this is just episode number 1 of the show, so I'm sure there are some tweaks and some improvements that I'm going to make over time. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please don't forget, it's going to be right down there on your screen, right there somewhere. See it? Hit that subscribe button. It would do me a huge favor. I really appreciate it. Try to get this channel rolling, try to get more people educated, and just talking about art. The art community is a lot of fun. Art's changed my life. And just want to share more about the pieces that I love, do some interviews. So there's going to be some fun stuff on the channel. So again, thank you for tuning in. Peace out.